Hey guys, Big John here. I'm an Alaskan dump truck driver. I'm an Alaskan driver in general. I do a lot of various different types of truck driving up here. And today we're running around in my buddy's dump truck. I got to make money however possible right now. This economy is so upside down and just screwed up. I mean, I don't understand it. 4 years ago, my bills, just my household bills, because I own my home, I own my vehicles, my bills were around $700 to $800. And I was starting to look over the numbers today. And now my monthly bills are up over right around $1,100 for the same bills I was paying 4 years ago. We're talking the lot rent, because I own my trailer home, so the lot rent went up. So now I'm paying at least $100 more for lot rent. My electric bill, it's gone up quite a bit, and they got a sham going on there, because it seems like the more we try to improve our situation in the home with electrical and lighting and green energy, stuff like that, putting in the LED bulbs, which is an expense. So we're spending more money on the bulbs, putting the bulbs in, then they raise the rate of electricity to compensate for the fact that people are using less electricity. Yeah, that sucks. That pisses me off a little bit. And then there's the whole ordeal with other bills like natural gas. It's the same thing. The natural gas bill has gone up considerably. So I'm paying an extra $50 to $60 for natural gas up here. And that's cheaper than using electricity or using heating oil up here in Alaska. If you use heating oil, I'm sorry, that's just outrageous. So you're looking at like almost $400, pretty close to $400 for 100 gallons of heating oil right now, which is absolutely absurd. Let me write down some numbers real quick. $13.95 and $10.45. So we're looking at about 45 minutes around. 764. That seems a little long. They want me to get 10 loads across town to this one little job site. I'm quite a ways across town, and that's just part of the job. We're hauling gravel. But yeah, back to the bills. I mean, holy crap. And then I'm watching, I eat very inexpensive. I don't go out and spend money willy-nilly every single day. I just buy the cheapest meats that I can because I'm doing like the carnivore diet. So I'm looking for meats that are on sale, consistently priced meats, which are typically, I shop price when I'm shopping for food. And since I eat, at least 90% meats and fats, I'm just shopping the price per pound for meat. And I'm watching that price steadily climb. So within the last year, I was buying hamburger meat for, let's say, a little bit under $2.99. And now that same pound of hamburger meat is up over, it's about $3.20 for a similar product. But yeah, it's just frustrating because I'm sitting here at a traffic light. I'm watching a guy that's really well dressed. He's carrying a big giant plastic bag on his back. That's pretty much everything that guy owns. And I don't know when he became homeless or how he became homeless, but I get it now. I understand what's going on. Because if I'm out here driving a dump truck and I'm making a lot of money, because I make a lot of money driving what used to be a lot of money. And then all of a sudden I'm having a hard time with the economy and paying the bill, just paying the bills. It's like every time I see a bill, it's almost like a surprise. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? This is the problem. Because if I'm making $30, $35 an hour, I shouldn't have these problems. I got 2 broke down vehicles. I have to ride my bicycle to work. I'm trying to come up with a plan to get at least one of those vehicles fixed within the week, maybe, if I'm lucky. I applied for another job, because work right now is inconsistent. This guy here, he pays me really well, but the work is inconsistent, and he understands that I need consistent work, even if I am to get paid a little bit less. So I'll take a job right now that's consistent with 40 hours a week at about $28 an hour. Versus working on and off at $35 an hour, because it's all going to balance out at the end of the week or the end of the month. and I'll be ahead of the game. I'll be working for somebody that can keep me working for the entire year versus somebody that's going to be hit and miss. And since the economy is so upside down and wackadoodle here in Alaska, normally I'm hauling topsoil this time of year because a lot of people are doing their yards. We haul D1 gravel. That's that kind of gray looking crushed gravel that people use for their driveways. I'm hauling asphalt and wrap. People don't have the money to do those projects right now. I mean, I scouted out all kinds of different options around town. If people have a contract and you can slide in there and keep your truck busy, you better stay good friends with that person. You know, don't piss them off, because they're trying to, even the contractors right now, they're just trying to spread the work out the best they can, you know, just to keep everybody fed a little bit. And that's kind of what we do up here in Alaska. We just try to take care of one another the best they can, just like everybody's trying to take care of me right now, you know, and give me this truck right here to drive. You know, this gentleman, he offered to loan me one of his vehicles to get to work, and I was like, I don't need a vehicle. You're so close, I can walk there within 40 minutes. It takes me about 12 minutes to ride a bicycle there, so it doesn't even justify me starting a vehicle just to drive to work, even on a rainy day. So yeah, we're cutting corners at every turn that we possibly can. We're not going out to eat anymore. When we do go grocery shopping, we're very, very frugal about the groceries we buy, and we just try to keep everything somewhat the same right now. But yeah, I'm just horribly annoyed with this economy and this situation. I don't know if the election that's coming up in November, I don't know if that's going to fix it. I mean, what do you guys think? You think you know, the next president might turn things around? I know a lot of the I do know that a lot of the North Slope companies are starting to prepare for the next election, and just assuming that it's going to turn the tides and they're going to be able to start drilling again and do more exploration, because I know the election does matter for what happens in the oil field up here in Alaska, and also for the gold mines and the coal and the other big industries, the big mining industries. That matters. Even the gravel industry and lumber industry, all that matters. You know, if we have the right president in there, then all of a sudden the prices just come down. It's just a big game. I mean, it's like a big charade. So yeah, we get a Republican president and all of a sudden the prices go down. Then we get a Democrat president, the prices go up. This is how things have been going on ever since I was a child. I rarely ever see prices go down, you know, when there's a Democrat in office, and it may have in the past. I just didn't pay attention to it, and I really couldn't care about Democrat Republican separation and all that nonsense. I don't care. I just want to, you know, everybody to be doing well, everybody to be making money, and I'm just sick and tired of seeing all these homeless people just randomly wandering around here. And now it's normal. I mean, it's normal. I took my kids to the park the other weekend, and then they were playing in the park, and we had a homeless guy sleeping on the park bench. And one of the kids asked, like, hey, why is that guy sleeping on the park bench? I said, because they have to sleep in the daytime, and it's safe here. You know, it's safe at the park. He's not going to get attacked by somebody else while he's sleeping. All of his stuff that he has with him isn't going to get stolen while he's sitting at a park with a bunch of young little kids. Now, if we were to go off in the woods and somebody else were to find him, yeah, it's a great way to get mugged. And homeless people, they take advantage of other homeless people. And it's pretty sad evolution of how normal it's becoming. I mean, we have homeless camps all over the place right now. There's just so many of them. And I understand why. You know, because if a guy that's out here running a dump truck making $30-something an hour is having a problem, you know, struggling to pay the bills and getting annoyed with how much things are costing, I couldn't imagine what it's like at the lower income levels, you know, just trying to survive and and not owning your home or not owning your vehicle and having to make car payments. I couldn't imagine what that would be like, because it's just frustrating. It's frustrating for me. So I could imagine that these people are devastated to the point where they're just like giving up on life, giving up on their situation. Got a car accident over here. It's got everything tied up. This one of those plastic bumpers on the ground. I mean, I don't like the plastic bumpers. I don't like the vehicles they build nowadays because they're built to fall apart. There's very few vehicles out here that are built to last any amount of time. Ever since they started the whole, I don't know if anybody remembers cash for clunkers. You know, that happened a long time ago. I believe it was in the late 90s. A lot of the clunkers, you could just load them up on a trailer and take them in, and they give you $500 per vehicle, which was great if you had a piece of crap car. But that took a lot of the useful parts out of circulation, and it was done by design, you know, because they wanted to take those old vehicles where you could just go down to the junkyard and get a couple parts, and you could have a halfway decent vehicle that ran. You know, it ran. It didn't take a lot to get it running. So right now I have a 2000 Jeep Wrangler, and I'm fighting to figure out what's going on with it, because it could be a fuel pump, it could be a relay, it could be half a dozen things, a fuel filter. I don't know. I got to get into a shop, and then I got to pay somebody $100 and something just to diagnose what the issue is. And then we got to start shelling out money for the parts and the labor and all that after the fact. So yeah, I'm looking at least $500 right there. You know, just to get my Jeep towed over to a shop, that costs money. I mean, I guess I could use my insurance company. They would tow it to a shop. But the other thing, my insurance bills, they're going up too. I mean, the cost of insurance, and if you're paying for health insurance, you know what I'm talking about. Ever since Obamacare started, and they started penalizing people that didn't have insurance, which was totally backwards, and that shouldn't have happened. You know, that's technically unconstitutional. You know, you can't penalize somebody for not being poor enough to sign up for like welfare benefits and get Medicaid, and then the people in between, they get left out. They're in between. They don't make enough money to justify paying for insurance for their entire family, so now they're getting penalized for the whole insurance fraud. And that's all it is. This insurance is just a big problem here in this country too. And I am not for socialized health care. I don't think that that's the solution for anybody, socialized health care. I think we need to have some socialized health care, but we also need to have the option for people to pay for different types of health insurance to get their own medical care and coverage somewhere completely different of their choice. That's what makes America great. Because if we had a whole country full of, you know, everything with socialized health care, people would take advantage of that system, and it would slowly start to break down. It wouldn't be the best system. It would give you a line to stand in, but like over in Canada, they have socialized health care over there. People die in Canada because they're waiting in line to get seen. I know Canadians themselves, they come over here to Alaska to get cancer treatment because they will die waiting for cancer treatment in Canada. So yeah, socialized health care might work great for the snivels or, you know, something like that. But when it gets more serious, it's just not worthwhile, in my opinion. You know, it starts to become a problem at that point. I don't know, it's just me ranting and driving around the city of Anchorage. I'm all fired up today about this crap because, you know, I should be able to just drive this dump truck for the entire summer. I should be able to make a really fantastic wage, and everything should be fine. I got to turn here because there's an oversized load up there. I don't know what they're hauling. They're hauling something big and long. I don't want to get stuck behind that. I'm trying to get over to this job. Yeah, crazy stuff here. And now we got all these used car lots that are popping up just everywhere. And these people are, yeah, they're trying to make a living. They're trying to make a business. But with all these crappy cars, you don't know what you're getting into. You can't justify buying a car just because it has low mileage. That doesn't mean it's going to be a good car. I found that out. I bought low mileage cars. I bought high mileage cars. They all suck equally. You go out and buy a new car, you're just buying a freaking banknote. That's all you get out of that. You're just buying a giant banknote. I mean, most of these people that are out here driving these new cars, most of them never own the car. A lot of them get repoed over time because they get into situations where they can't make the car payment. all it takes is one ankle injury and you're out of work for a little while, and all of a sudden your car payment is just upside down. And then you got to worry about your house, your electric bill, your cable, your TV, your internet. Everybody requires internet now. That's another thing I thought was going to be free by now. Just like long distance phone calls and text messages, that became free at some point. Not necessarily free. You're still paying for the service. You're just not getting charged per character anymore like we used to, and not having to pay. Because when I first got a cell phone, I think I paid, oh goodness, it was about $1.25 per minute. And at that time, I had to have a cell phone, so I used it very, very sparingly. This generation now has no idea what it was like when cell phones first started rolling out, and we were paying, anywhere from 50 cents to $1.25 per minute. We'd get a cell phone bill of about $500 to $1,200 some months. It was nuts, how much money could be spent on cell phones. And then texting started, and I believe when texting rolled out, we were getting charged about 25 cents to 10 cents per character. So every letter you typed, this is where a lot of the abbreviations started coming from, because it was cheaper. And even on the old pager system, we used to be able to send like little digital, shortcut types messages through the pager system, but we'd get charged the same on that, per character. I don't know if anybody even uses a pager anymore. Maybe some of the hospitals might. They might give them to their nurses or something, so when they're on break, they might know if there's some emergency going on. But I haven't seen a pager in many, many years. Maybe some EMS type jobs might use them now, but yeah. Just crazy. Absolutely nuts. But, all right, we're getting to a traffic light. I'm going to have a chance to take a look at the thread here, see who's talking. Make America right again. That would be fantastic. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Jesus is the way, the truth, and life. He saved me. Can save you too. I appreciate that. 7 days a week. I have been breaking out the Bible for the last 2 days. I think I'm on chapter 21 right now of Genesis, and I'm starting over. So I'm basically reading the Old Testament. I'm going to slowly start working my way towards the New Testament as I go through. But through prayer of the other day, because I'm just praying for everything to improve, my situation to improve, and for all these other people out here that just having crap luck with life. And there shouldn't be this many people, living in this country having this hard of a time, because it wasn't this way 10 or 12 years ago. Everybody was doing pretty good. If you were homeless, you wanted to be. You weren't forced out of your home homeless, like in the last couple of years. Some of these people were just literally thrown out in the streets when rent increased dramatically. I mean, it used to be a time where you could get a halfway decent place for $500-600 a month. Now here in Alaska, if you want a halfway decent place, you're looking at anywhere from $900 upwards to $1,600, and for houses, you're looking in the like $2,000-3,000 range per month, which is doable if you're living with the whole entire family. Everybody's working and pitching in, even if they're all doing part-time jobs, because I've seen it done up here. A lot of the typical nationalities that move here, they move here as a family. They all get a house, they all go out and get a job of some sort, and that's how they make these payments for the house. And as long as everybody's working, they do really well. And then everybody can save a little bit of money, and they can buy new cars, they can buy whatever they want to make themselves comfortable here, and it works out well for them. As a general rule, a lot of people got away from that. We started programming our children straight out of high school to turn 18 and move out, get yourself an apartment, get yourself a car, have a car payment, have credit cards, have bills. Stop it. Stop teaching these kids that you have to have a credit card. You can live a much more fruitful life if you don't ever have a credit card. I haven't had a credit card in years, in many, many years. Since 2005 was like the last time I had a credit card. I got rid of them. I don't use bank loans. We did get a bank loan for my wife's Jeep. That's broke down too. It needs a transmission. So that's about a $5,000 bill. We got to suck that one up in the next few months and try to get her vehicle fixed. And now So yeah, we got a bank loan for that, but I had that bank loan paid off in about 30 days. So I can't remember what we got the loan for. It was like maybe $20,000, but I already had $10,000 in the bank. We used X amount of dollars for the down payment or whatever, and then the rest of the money went straight into the Jeep. And I had more checks coming in that I knew were coming in. We had tax returns and all that stuff playing a role. So I had that. The bank was really irritating with me, and they probably won't give me another loan like that because I paid it off so quickly, and there was no punishment for paying it off early. I made sure that was a stipulation in the loan because I didn't want to get penalized for paying it off early. What in the world? There's so many. I'm seeing a lot of oversized loads, and I'm a little jealous because oversized loads here pay pretty good. Not just running them around town, but oversized loads that go up north, they pay really, really well. I need like 10 of those right now. I'm turning in the job site, so it's going to get a little quiet here because I'm going to pay attention to what I'm doing instead of yammering on about how annoyed I am with this. Everything. I'm just annoyed with everything right now. I shouldn't be this annoyed. But I'm not so annoyed that I'm going to have high blood pressure issues. I'm just, yeah, one of those things. This is a very congested place. Looks like they're still spreading out my old pile. So I could be sitting here for a little bit. Just looking for anybody on the ground to give me directions. Shut that off. I don't think everybody wants to hear that the whole time I'm waiting here. So I got one guy that I'm familiar with. He's back there. He's spreading out some felt right now, so I'll probably be dumping right on top of that. Last time I came in here, I needed my lockers in just to get in there. So I'm going to click those in right now. Okay. I can at least see the guy, so that's good news. He's pointing and talking to one of his operators in the equipment. Now he's doing some work in the backhoe, trying to figure out something here. This is a very congested place. I mean, I'm surrounded by, I got pickup trucks on that side. I got a whole bunch of pickup trucks on this side, people parked out next to them. I got heavy equipment in front of me. I got two pieces of heavy equipment behind me moving around, you know, trying to figure out where we're going to put this load. Looks like the electricians are over there. We got a plumbing van. Yeah, we got a little bit of everything going on over here in this lot. Somebody said that this area, I'm in the Mountain View area right now. They told me my directions were to go to Brewster's. Well, Brewster's hasn't been here for years. I didn't know what Brewster's was, and apparently they were a clothing company back in the 1950s. That was a long time ago. A long, long time ago. So I made a joke with the guy, and I said, yeah, I just, you know, go down the road and turn left at the old shopping center that's not there anymore. You see the old lady husking corn, you're going to make a right turn. And then if you get to the point where you see a dog pissing on the porch, then you went too far and you got to turn around and go back. That was the kind of directions they used to give us on the East Coast when I was delivering propane. Now we had these little cards for directions for every customer, and they had directions written on them. Well, some of those customers were so old, and the directions were never updated. And since I was new with the propane company at that time, it made everything a little bit of a pain, and I had to recreate a lot of the directions on the new cards and update the system. But that was fun. All right. Just taking a quick look in there. Hey there, everybody. I appreciate you guys. Right now I'm sitting on a job site. For anybody that doesn't know, we're just waiting to see what's going on here. And then I can get backed up and get rid of this load of dirt and go get another one. Probably gonna have to trade places. I got a lull up here. He's moving a dumpster of trash around. Not sure where he's gonna put it though. Yeah, you got to keep your head on a swivel at job sites like this. I'm looking at you. I don't know if you want me to back up yet. I can see you. Yeah, he was diving off into my other mirror. Let's get in here as harmlessly as possible. Okay. Let's get this load off. I didn't even need my lockers this time because they didn't have me down in the hole. So one thing I like about this newer Western Star, it's a 2017 Western Star. It's got full lockers. It's got the pretty much full Alaskan package for what we need to do our jobs up here. Having full lockers is super handy. Especially when you get into that uneven ground, it makes it nice because I can just put the lockers in, let off the fuel, let off the brake, and then it just drives out. You just let it idle out. You don't even need to accelerate. I know, we are back on the road. We're heading back to the gravel pit. I'm probably going to take a different route this time because the last time I got stuck in a lot of traffic. That was unnecessary kind of tourist type traffic that we get here in Anchorage. People come in from north of here or out of state, and they're going south, and they all come in on this one main corridor, and it kind of ties up traffic right when they get into downtown. So we're gonna cut over a block, and we're just gonna cut on through. The speed limit is about 35-40 miles an hour, and that's about what it is over there on the main route anyways. So we're not losing any time. We're just scooted over like a street. I've got a dump truck on the sidewalk. Oh, they must be cleaning up the homeless camp. That's what they're doing. I don't know who designs where they put the manhole covers in this city, but they are exactly where your tires go. It's really annoying. It's like you're constantly swerving back and forth trying to miss them. And then they put two of them really close together so you can swerve one way or another, and you're still going to get into one. But yeah, that's a problem a lot of the truck drivers have been complaining about over the years, because apparently, whoever designs these drainage systems, and that's what a lot of it's for, is for drainage and utility. They put the manhole cover right in the way of where the tire goes. And then once they get banged and sink down so much, you wind up breaking tie rod ends. People get flat tires. There goes another expense right out the window. Hey there, Vicky. Yeah, I've been ranting about this economy and how bad it sucks, and I'm not sure why I'm having such a problem paying my bills. You know, even when I'm working. I used to be able to work 2 or 3 days a week, making the wage that I'm making right now, actually making less, about $10 less than what I'm making right now. And I had no problem paying all the monthly bills. No problem. And now I'm just like, every time a bill pops up, I'm just like, this is bull crap. It's driving my wife nuts. It's driving my kids nuts. And we're all just trying to do the best we can and get out of this mess and get something saved in the bank and get our vehicles working again. Now, she also tossed out the opportunity I might be able to go to Nome and work up there too as a delivery driver for one of the family relatives, making a lot more money than almost double the amount of money I'm making right now. Actually, a little more than double. So I might be going to Nome. I don't know, but we'd have to do a lot of figuring and putting that together. And there's the plane ticket going to Nome. That's going to cost me, $300 something just to get up there one way. And then I have to figure out, who I'm going to stay with, how I'm going to get back and forth to work. I mean, I don't know. We haven't figured all that out because we haven't really taken it seriously. But a couple of weeks of work at double the wage I'm making now would definitely get us back on top, kind of where we need to be. And these roads here, I mean, it's not nearly as bad as Detroit. I mean, Detroit was one of the worst places I ever went in my entire trucking career as far as horrible roads. I mean, it was just everything. It was like choppy pavement, like layered over pavement, over cobblestone, over more pavement. And everything was just chopped up all the time. But Alaska's starting to feel that way. And it's getting annoying. It's like, wow, we got a lot of freaking holes in the ground around here. There's another auto repair shop. There's so many little auto repair shops, and so many of them, they're barely auto repair shops. I mean, they don't know how to diagnose a lot of these problems. They kind of tear into people's vehicles and they leave them just broken. They give them back and say they can't fix them. So you got to be careful where you're getting your vehicles worked on. So far, I've found that when you ask for the hourly rate, if their hourly rate is low around here, that's usually a good sign that they don't know what they're doing. If it's really ridiculously high, it's because they already have too much business. They don't need any more business, and they're pretty good at what they do. So there's most likely a waiting list to get your car into those people. So you got to try to find that hourly rate that's kind of in between the two. Because everybody likes to save a little bit of money. Because sometimes you got to spend money in order to get your vehicle back without spending way more money than you need to. Because some of these repairs that we have to do on vehicles nowadays cost us a ton of money, and they could break stuff in the meantime. Because you got to disassemble half the car just to do something simple. Got some motorcycles out here running around. It was cold today. I actually have the heater on right now, and it feels like it's September weather. It feels like it could snow tomorrow. Got down to, I think the wife said 40 something degrees when she took my son to work this morning. It was at least 48 degrees, and that's chilly for this time of year. It's annoying. It's definitely annoying that it was that cold. I just passed a it's like an arena. They call it Sullivan Arena. And for a couple of years, they used it as the homeless shelter. And it was one of our biggest venues for different types of events that went on. They did like a Comic-Con event there. If somebody special were to come to town, they would do an event for them in this place. But after that, I haven't seen a whole lot going on in there, because when they had the homeless people in there, they kind of wrecked a lot of the services that were provided in there. So I don't know if they're ever going to get it fixed and use it like it used to be again. But that was the place where they came up with the great idea. We're going to house the homeless there for the winter time, and then they kick them out in the summertime. And a lot of weird happenings happened there. You know, because it's just like a big old room, and they had everybody in these little bunk areas. And if somebody came in drunk or inebriated, they would immediately kick those people out in the street. Didn't matter how cold it was, they'd kick them out. I mean, whatever. It's just, I couldn't imagine that. Holy moly, this man also drives trucks. Yes, I drive trucks. I drive all kinds of trucks. I drive dump trucks, I drive tankers, I haul doubles. I do a little bit of everything. I've run up and down the haul road. I've driven to every state in the lower 48. The only state in the United States I haven't driven in is Hawaii. I had a plan to do that. That fell through. So I don't think I'll ever get that off my bucket list. I've driven in Mexico. I've also driven up through Canada. I don't like Canada that much because they got so many rules, and they change the rules on you. Sometimes, like right before you get to the border, they might just change a rule, and then you're just stuck at the border trying to figure out paperwork or permits and stuff like that. The logbook rules in Canada are a little bit different. So you have the United States DOT rules, and then you get into Canada, that changes, so then you have to abide by their rules. And then once you get back in the United States, you have to go back and deal with the United States rules. It's just a headache. It's like, oh, just keep it somewhat similar. We're just driving a road, man. So I'm starting to see a lot more pipe on these trucks that are running around town. That's good. You know, that means hopefully something's going to start improving soon. Because when you start to see a lot more loads in town that are oil field related heading north out of town, then that's a good sign the economy is going to start improving a little bit. Because if the oil field's doing well, that means we're doing pretty well down here in town. That means they're hiring more people up north, which is what we need. We're kind of overpopulated right now. Because right now there's just so many service industry type people here. It's insane how many people are here just for service industry type jobs, you know, like making and preparing food, warehousing food products, the tourist industry. That's normal. But a lot of these people are here year-round now. They don't go away in the wintertime when the service industry is, you know, non-existent at that point. I have seen a couple new businesses pop up in the wintertime for service industry type winter jobs, which is basically like wintertime tourism, you know, which is something that's a great idea. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to see here in the wintertime. And they basically load up in a big van and take them to the ski resort or take them, you know, to the glaciers and stuff like that. That's a good opportunity. Saw a bunch of brake lights. I got a little nervous, but it's just people changing lanes and didn't know how to change lanes up ahead. They were like doing the back and forth battle of who's going to slow down and who's going to speed up. They both slowed down at the same time, so that it kind of like bottled up everybody. It's okay, I hang back. I always hang back from traffic, especially in the wintertime. Because when it all goes stupid, if you're hanging back, you usually don't even have to touch the brakes, and if you do, it's just lightly. And then by the time you get to where the excitement's at, they've all slid off the road. So you got a wide open road. That seems to work out pretty good for me. I've been doing it for over 20 years. Just kind of, I don't get right up on people's bumpers. I stay well away from trouble. You always look in your mirror as you're looking for trouble. You know, trouble comes from behind. I packed my electrolytes today. Probably going to start fasting again. It's hard to fast. It's really hard to do fasting when you're stressed out. I've been doing a lot of emotional eating lately, but I'm just trying to keep it in the plan. Because once I get outside the plan, weird stuff happens and I don't feel that great. And since I know what foods make me feel like crap now, it's a whole lot easier to just eat, you know, maybe some hard-boiled eggs. That works great. Maybe a beef stick. I was planning on starting some, you know, I was going to try to make some like beef jerky treats in the air fryer, because I got a dehydration feature on there, and I wanted to make some snacks. I wanted to thinly press some hamburger meat out, but it takes 16 hours. So that's one of those things that I got to get home at like 3 in the afternoon, get it started, get it prepped, and get the air fryer going. So it'll be done by the time I get up in the morning, around 5 or 6 in the morning. And then I'll be able to pull it out, and, you know, put it in bags and stuff, or take it to work with me. And I do have a dehydrator. I just don't use the dehydrator much, because I tried making beef jerky a while back, and even though I have the equipment to make beef jerky, you know, the price of making beef jerky out of steak up here is really expensive. It's not cheap. It's not as cheap as trying to figure out how to make jerky treats out of hamburger meat. I'm all about being on a budget. Trying to lose weight on a budget. That's one of my things too. Because when I started losing weight, you know, I did fasting for a while, you know, but then I got caught in the trap of, you know, listening to these people that were talking about eat less, move more, and all that stuff, and so I wound up getting injured. Well, in that process, I was like, well, crap. And then these people are trying to sell me these $90 powders and, you know, stuff in containers and vitamins and all this other stuff. Buy this because you need this, and you need this supplement because this supplement's better than that supplement. And then I realized a lot of that was smoke and mirrors. You can do just fine without buying $90 products and bottles, because I don't have the money to buy $90 products. If you guys are well off enough, you can buy super expensive vitamins that, you know, come from somewhere in a green country somewhere, and they're made out of specific stuff. Great, that's awesome. But you can save a lot of money by not doing that. And this here is just a homemade electrolyte drink that I made at home. I make it up, I drink it. It works like an energy drink because it's got apple cider vinegar in it, a little bit of lemon juice, some Redmond salt, and a little bit of no salt for the potassium. And it works just like an energy drink. I don't need to go to the store and buy a coffee. I don't have to get a Red Bull or one of those things. This cost me pennies. So that's the way to go. That's the way to hopefully get healthy on a budget. You know, I eat hamburger meat instead of steaks. I would love to eat steaks, but I can't justify going out to eat steak. I think the last time we had steaks, it was pretty inexpensive. It was about $7 a pound, which is kind of okay price. But I eat a pound and a half. You know, I eat a pound and a half to 2 pounds of meat in my diet pretty easily. So it just makes sense to buy, you know, $2.99 or, you know, $3.20 hamburger meat and eat that instead. It does the same thing. I mean, it's just ground up parts of the animal. It does exactly the same thing. Oops, I don't even know why I put that blinker on. Roundabouts make me do that. You know, I get these roundabouts, and I put a blinker on it because I'm gonna, you know, veer off that way. Don't even need to. But we have a lot of roundabouts in Alaska. A lot of them. In the last, 6-7 years, they've doubled the amount of roundabouts we have here. That was to help with traffic flow, rush hour traffic, morning traffic. It is helpful. They also put these little tiny mini roundabouts in the neighborhoods in some places, especially in the neighborhoods where people were just running the stop sign anyways. So it's kind of like a controlled, somewhat controlled running a stop sign. So there's just an obstacle in the middle of the intersection. You have to slow down and go around. If you hit it, it's going to be a bad day. You don't want to drive over it. It's not like a hump in the road. It's an actual obstacle. Man, I love this truck. This truck it's so effortless. I don't have to think. I just got to double check switches once in a while. Make sure my tailgate's closed before getting loaded. Make sure the PTO is off. Always make sure the PTO is off before you leave a job. Those PTOs will burn up just like that. Cost holy smokes. PTOs, when they burn up, it costs the owner anywhere from $500 to $1,200 to replace that PTO. And then the truck's shut down. You're not making any money. So we're pulling in the gravel pit. I got to pull up underneath this loading belt, scan my card, and load the truck. Now I got a line of trucks. I got 2 side dumps in front of me. One's almost done. All right. Now when you drive dump trucks up here in Alaska, we don't take breaks. You know, you try to bring your lunch with you if you're going to eat a lunch. We don't run to the stores and stuff like that to go get food. We start our day in the truck. We end our day in the truck. And we don't like take official breaks. We do take potty breaks. Everybody takes potty breaks. This guy's getting himself lined up. So what we have here is this big giant pile of gravel right next to me. And then we have this conveyor belt that comes out of the pile. Somewhere on the other side of the pile, they have a hopper where the gravel goes in and it gets lined up on a conveyor belt. The conveyor belt runs about a ton of gravel a second. So my truck hauls about 14 tons of gravel. So that's a dump of about 14 seconds as the belt's turning. Sometimes it's a little light, sometimes it's a little more. But a side dump trailer is a little long, so they have to start their dump at one point, and then they have to slowly pull up and let the load spread out across the bed. Since I'm in an end dump, it's pretty easy. We just got these little cards. We scan the reader. This card here tells the machine how many tons I want. And then I pull a cord. Then it gets really loud for a second. I got the window up in time, but yeah, it's really loud if the window's open because you're just dropping rocks into a metal bed. And I got a little spot mirror up front. I can see the belt when it stops. So all I got to do is look at that. When it stops, I go away. Then I'll drive over here carefully I'll wait for cross traffic to come through. There's always cross traffic in the gravel pit when it's busy. Then we're gonna get on the scale. Once I get on the scale, they get my weight. Then I pull up to the office, I grab a little piece of paper, and we get on our way. And head back. I want some of the panda meat. Why do you want the panda meat? I wouldn't imagine panda would taste very good. Be kind of like eating a koala. I don't know. Now bear meat, I hear it tastes pretty good. I was gifted some bear meat many years ago. I don't know if it was brown bear or black bear, but unfortunately I didn't know how to cook it. So I was a little like in the time frame it took me to figure out how to actually prepare it. The meat went bad, so I had to feed that one to the animals. To the other wild animals, you just chop it up, set it out in the woods. The birds will find it. The birds, the squirrels, whatever wants protein. Now moose meat, I've never had to throw away moose meat before. That doesn't last very long. Moose or caribou doesn't last long with me. Now caribou meat doesn't have a whole lot of fat. So it's not very good for like the whole carnivore diet type stuff. Come on, get off the scale. So there we go. So far this is the busiest I've seen the gravel pit all year. Thank you. And it's super cool that my aunt works here. I didn't find out she was my aunt until after I started doing this for I think 2 or 3 years, and then I randomly found out somehow that she was my aunt. So my dad's got a brother, and she married my dad's brother. So my uncle, she married my uncle. I thought that was cool, you know, that we happened to just, I'm a driver picking up loads, and she's my aunt. And she's one of the cool aunts. I like her a lot. I'm going to have to pee soon, so yeah, I'm probably not gonna keep going for too much longer. I'm kind of petered out on my ranting and raving about how much everything costs right now. But before I started getting on YouTube and talking about my weight loss, I was doing shopping videos. And I'm probably gonna do some more. I just have to have time to get into the stores, and if I get into Nome, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun doing shopping videos up there because the prices are crazy. Prices are crazy in Nome. You know, for toilet paper, a case of soda, you know, beer, stuff like that. It's just the price is just through the roof. And that's good, fun stuff to talk about. People are curious about prices and how, you know, how Alaskans survive. And I think a lot of the people up here now in Alaska, they have gotten spoiled with the availability of products. You know, because many of them move up from Southern California. They come up here to start a life in the cold. I don't know why, but they come up here because they're sick and tired of the politics and the rules down there. But in the last 10 years, the availability of products has gotten to be a lot better up here. Amazon has improved their delivery service up here, and they actually made a warehouse. 799, and what time is that? 11:37. Okay. Just like that. What's up, buddy? My buddy Curtis is in the truck next to me. This truck's like a turtle. This is a new automatic. There ain't nothing, I don't even have to play with the wiggle stick. I like the wiggle sticks, especially when I'm doing spread work. It took a lot of practice to figure out how to do spread work with this truck. I was like, I did it first try. I had no choice to figure it out. But it was like, wow, this was, doing, sensitive type spread work with an automatic is totally different than with a stick shift. Because the truck itself just rolls faster than what I want it to. So it's just hard to get that feel on the fuel pedal when you're taking off, because it'll naturally roll. But then I was also doing a spread going downhill with an automatic at one point. And that was different because the truck wants to roll with gravity. So it's a process of either use the fuel pedal or use the brake pedal. It was doable. It was different. All right. Yep. Tell me about something. I don't have time to read what's going on the screen there, guys. Just if I get a red light, I'll try to take a look at a couple of comments and respond to you as quick as I can. Volkswagen Beetle. There's not many Volkswagens up here, like the old air-cooled Volkswagens. Before I moved up here, I was really into the Volkswagens, air-cooled, water-cooled Volkswagens. I loved them. And I made the mistake of when I got up here, I bought a Volkswagen Passat. Holy moly. Trying to fix that thing when it required fixing was really, really expensive. The parts were unavailable at that time, so I had to order them. That was something I was talking about a little bit ago. Because these people are spoiled up here because they come from, down south where everything's just plentiful. There's box stores and stuff like that, and everything's available. Well, just within the last year, Amazon built a little warehouse here, and they store a lot of the most commonly bought, purchased products, ordered products. They store it in their warehouse. So some of these things, like kitty treats or random cat trees that are, people can afford to buy, they'll have those products here at the warehouse, and you can literally get your delivery sometimes as soon as that afternoon. You can place an order and some stuff might start showing up that day, but the next day is normal, next day delivery for some of their Amazon stuff, and that really helped out Amazon Prime up here. Because I used to have Amazon Prime. I was not happy with the service provided up here to Alaska because we'd order like overnight type stuff. We'd see it anywhere from 3 days to a week or two at times. So I was like, well, I'm done paying for the service. I don't use the rest of the Amazon Prime service, like I should or like I could. And I'm just looking to order things on occasion. I'm not trying to order off of Amazon every day. But like when I order cameras and stuff like that for the YouTube channel and other knickknacks and stuff, it takes about a week, sometimes 2 weeks for those products to show up. And that's just part of living here. Before all of this Amazon stuff, we would order cars, we'd order dirt bikes, we'd order snow machines a year in advance, just to make sure we'd have like the latest, greatest thing. I remember my brothers were ordering dirt bikes, when I got up here. They would order them in the spring, that way they'd be making sure they would have it by next spring. in other parts of the country, you just go down to the motorcycle shop, buy one, because they're right there. They're in front of your face. And I worked at O'Reilly's Auto Parts for a period of time when I started my weight loss journey. Now that was where I got extremely frustrated because we're still going through an auto parts shortage up here. People are not returning their cores, like alternator cores, anything else that would be core related for auto parts. People aren't returning them anymore. They're just throwing them away, or they're throwing them in a recycle bin for themselves, and they're bringing it to the scrap yard, for the metal recycling cost. They're not bringing them back. I don't know why, but that created a shortage with things like alternators and stuff like that. So we had to start figuring out other sources around the world to ship us alternators, and some of these manufacturers weren't the best. So we'd get a bunch of crappy alternators up here. That's a problem. Really crappy water pumps. Sometimes they'd work out really good for some people, and then other times they wouldn't. I went through, the little brake reservoir on one vehicle. I had to go back and replace that. I had to install and replace it 4 times on one vehicle, because every time I got one, I'd put it in and the thing would just start leaking all over the place. It was a headache. All right, we're at a red light. I'm going to take a look here. What? I don't know what that means. Okay, hello there. Let's see, tell me about it. I used to get 30 knickers online, $5. Now they're like $7.50. I don't know what 30 knickers are. Let's see, I want someone pinned to me. When are you going to inflate any lot lizards today? We don't have those up here. We don't have lot lizards up here. We don't have truck stops in Alaska. What we do have is fuel stops. They're kind of like a truck stop, but since doubles, long combination doubles, so that's 2 45-foot trailers, a very long tractor, and sometimes a halfway, decent length dolly, which can equal up to 100 feet in length. So we do have these fuel stops we can pull doubles into when the weather gets bad. Sometimes we all crowd in there and sleep next to each other when we can't make it up the road. That's rare. It's very rare that we can't make it up the road up here, even in the bad weather. If there's some serious black ice where you just can't get traction at all, yeah, that's a good time to shut down. But we don't get that very often either. But it's really no fun, tiptoeing with a set of doubles on black ice, just trying to stay on the crown of the road. You're watching your set just wiggle and weave. Your tail trailer's trying to wander off in the ditch. It's not fun times. Some little kid was sticking their tongue out at me, so I did it back. Makes them smile. I don't care. Just make somebody smile every day. That's all you got to do. Wake up in the morning with your intentions being somewhat good. Maybe drink your coffee, read your Bible, do your morning prayers, nourish yourself a little bit if you need to, and then go to work. And then make somebody happy on the way. People seem to enjoy that. So this other job at the recycling place, I was hoping they would have called me by now and had my work fit scheduled so I could figure out what I'm doing, because I'm trying to bounce between this and being a new hire at another company and make money at the same time, because I need to feed myself, I need to feed my family, I got to fix my vehicles. Yeah. Long story short, we all need money. Well, this time I should be able to go the way I wanted to go last time, but I had an oversized load in my way. and I don't this time. So I should be able to just breeze right on through. Like a police car is chasing a side dump over there. That's never a good time. I got me a red light ticket last year around October when we were shutting down a lot of the jobs I was just picking up, and I came into town. I guess I wasn't paying the right amount of attention to the traffic light, and I caught the very beginning of a red light. That cost me a couple $100. Wow. So this street over here, they're like building like little homeless shelters on this street right by the soup kitchen. And it looks like they're building these little huts out of pallets and tarps. Look like a mess. Man, these roads are bumpy. I can't believe I got the heater on right now. It's cold outside. It's not warm. I don't know what the current temperature is right now, but it's in the 50s. It's in the 50s somewhere. If I happen to see a sign, usually there's these flashing LED signs that say the temperature once in a while. If I happen to see one, I'll let you know what it is. But I don't know what the temperature is. Case construction. So about a year ago, I was 435 pounds. I was twice the size that I am right now. I'm a pretty big guy anyways, but I was twice this size. And I was still able to do my job as a truck driver, but it was very difficult. Sitting here was extremely painful. And then as I was losing the weight in the last year, so approximately 120 to 125 pounds, I had this weird type situation where, my butt was changing. I'm about ready to honk my horn at you if you don't go. All right. But my butt, since it was shrinking and my back was readjusting, and all my joints were adjusting to the weight loss, it took a long time for my butt to adjust to being able to sit down in a seat because I was losing a lot of fat, around my buttocks. And it hurt. It hurt to sit here like this. So I drive for a little bit, like one of these rounds from my job back to the gravel pit. I get back to the gravel pit, my butt would be on fire. It would hurt from sitting down. So I'd have to get up, straighten my back a little bit, walk around a little bit, and then get back in the truck and then do that like all day long. Have to get out, stand up. And it would be fixed if I stood up on the steps. If I just got out, stood up on the steps for a little bit, everything would feel normal. But that was so strange. Some of the odd things that happened to me while I was just trying to figure out how to lose weight and keep it off. Keeping it off has been easy. I thought that was going to be really hard for me. Why are there all these dogs in there? Wow. Huh. A bunch of dogs fighting through a fence. Crazy. Pulling up to the job site again. Oops, got one more traffic light to go. Maybe they'll be ready for me this time. I think I'm the only truck hauling to this job today. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I have a job to haul to today. Because yesterday I wasn't working. I was kind of annoyed that I wasn't working at all. Alright, everything's out of the way. Looks like the foreman's getting in his spot. That way I can get back up, do this, get it done. Hope nobody decides to pull out of their parking spot. Alright, we're gonna need the lockers this time. For sure, he's gonna want me down in the hole. There's a lot of obstacles here to look at. There we go. Just like that. Okay. We're back on the road again, going back for another one. Now the nice thing about doing dump trucking here in Alaska is once you get to know all the different crews and you know their hand signals, and we try to get everybody to do the same thing in between the different crews. It's like where you want us to dump, all you have to do is stand there and we're going to aim for your toes. So you stand to the side, you hold your arms straight out. I'm going to line up on that body posture right there. I'm going to kind of aim for your toes. I'm not going to run your toes over, but I'm going to aim for them. That way I can be right there in the pocket of where you're going to want the load dumped. One thing I don't like is pulling up on jobs and they're just like, dump it over there. That doesn't tell me anything. Dump it over there. Okay, well, fine. It's just going to be wherever over there. Yeah, you just stop that. People with pickup trucks, when they get ready to make turns, I don't know why. They act like they have a tractor trailer and they just have to like swoop into your lane. This is a really nice truck. I protect these things. I don't want this truck to get damaged just by people doing dumb stuff. That's why you drive things gently, like it's gonna break. Don't be rough on your stuff. And if it's not your truck, still drive it like it's gonna break, because you're gonna need that truck tomorrow. Red light. Love your beer. Thank you. I am driving a 2017 Western Star. It's just an end dump. It's a dump truck. So there's no trailer attached. It is set up to haul trailers. It's set up that I can haul pump trailers or anything that can hook to a pedal hook. Utility trailers that can haul equipment. Stuff like that. I don't know. I think somebody said in the other stream, I was asking what motor was in here. Somebody said it's a PACCAR motor. I don't know what horsepower. It's got plenty to do the job that I needed to do. I stopped caring about horsepower many years ago because when I started working for Carlisle, I was given a lot of heavy loads, like crazy heavy loads, and sent up north, up the haul road, with kind of underpowered trucks. And I could do the job with an underpowered truck as easy as I could with a truck that had a lot of motor behind it. I didn't really get the job done any faster with more horsepower. It was about the same speed. It was just less work for the truck, was all. The Dalton Highway is very rough. It's very bumpy. So no matter where you go, it's pretty slow going anyways. The only time it kind of smooths out up there is when it snows, when everything gets frozen and hard. It gets a little smoother. Oh, somebody lost their fifth wheel puller in the middle of the road. Man, some of these homeless people, they got nicer clothes than me. I don't know. Then again, I haven't really bought clothes in many years. Like, my wife buys me some new clothes. She buys me clothes more often than I do because I just don't care. I stopped caring, once I got to a certain point when I got incredibly morbidly obese, I seriously stopped caring about how I looked. I didn't care about my jackets, my shoes. As long as my feet didn't hurt, that's all I cared about. Just put shoes on that don't hurt. And that took a lot of time to get my feet to stop hurting. I mean, now I'm wearing regular shoes again. That's awesome. I can wear work boots again, comfortable. I can walk for miles. Yeah, there's a lot to be said about figuring out what's going on with your feet and inflammatory symptoms, whatever. Hey, there's one of those levitating ladies. She's like standing on the corner like a contortionist. Now the sun's out, now I'm hot. And then it'll be cold, then it'll be hot. Alaska weather is bipolar. I did get a new job putting cat, but I'm still waiting for the work fit test to be scheduled. I'm still going to have this seat in case something doesn't work right and I don't pass the test. I don't think I'm going to have a problem. The way it was explained to me is he's looking for range of motion, making sure I can lift my arms over my head, I can stoop, I can climb up or down a ladder safely. That's basically what he said it was. Because I've done some really insane work fit tests in the past. For the North Slope, if you're going to go work on a drill rig, those work fit tests are pretty intense. They have like a little pegboard. You have to do dexterity tests, or you have to unscrew a nut off a bolt, and you have to do this like 20 times over your head on this little pegboard. Then you have to move them all, each one by one, to a specific spot, and without dropping the nuts and bolts, and do that over and over and over again. It was hard. My arms were on fire by the time I was done. I was surprised they even passed that one. And then another one was a truck driving related one for Gainey, a company called Gainey out of Kansas City. I'm not sure why they did this, but I had to actually lay down on a bed sideways, and I had to like pick my whole body up. I had to get this shoulder blade up off the bench. I had to do that on both sides. That was hard. That's hard even when you're in shape. Just to lay flat on your side, cross your arms, and then lift your entire shoulder blade off the table. That was not a fun one. I almost didn't make that one. And the lady had to like lay down across my knees because when I tried to get up, my legs were starting to come up. And And all that was to make sure your core strength was good and you didn't have any, because if you had a back injury, it would be really, really easy to tell if you had a back injury before getting hired at that point. That's kind of what this work fit test is about. We want to make sure that I'm not, hiding a previous injury and just coming on and trying to sue the company for, work-related stuff. I guess that still happens. I mean, that's the funny thing. When I worked for Geneva Woods, I was a go-tech, so I deliver pharmaceutical products to your door. I train people on how to use oxygen concentrators, medical bed setups, and bariatric type mattresses. But I met a lot of people when I was doing that were involved in the insurance type scams back in the 80s and 90s, and they were miserable. They got paid, to sit at home by scamming the insurance companies, but they were living a miserable life. Some people are like, oh, that's great, I can just live at home and they'll pay me. Well, but then you have to literally just stay at home. You can't go out and do fun stuff, once you scam the insurance company, because they have people out there taking pictures of you, running cameras to see if you're out doing stuff that you say you can't do. And that way they can find that out and take away your benefits. That's a big deal. I mean, insurance fraud's a huge thing. And it's not worth it. It's so not worth it. Don't do it. It's not a happy ending, trust me. The people that I was servicing with all these like medical type things that they didn't really need, they weren't happy. They weren't very mobile because they were literally stuck as a prisoner in their own house just trying to collect a paycheck from an insurance company. What a sad way to live. Yep. Man, I love this truck. It doesn't swerve. If anybody else drives a big truck, you know what I'm talking about. Some trucks swerve just naturally because of suspension or something like that. This truck here, I just kind of like aim it in the general direction. This thing drives itself. I don't have to like hold the steering wheel hardly at all. Almost no input goes into driving this thing down the road. Now, some of the other trucks I've driven in my life, you have to constantly steer. You're always like rocking it a little bit, to get it to line up in the road where you want it. Getting down to the bottom of my electrolytes. Let's see, GBS, Fabric Shop. I'm doing pretty good. Let's see, Trump or Biden. Boy, if I had a choice today, I would definitely take Trump back. I mean, granted, there's a lot of hatred towards Trump. I don't care. We had a much better life before this Biden phenomenon happened. And it's a phenomenon. It's not a natural occurrence. It's just one of those random things that nobody expected to be this bad. I have Democrat friends up here, and they also say the same thing. They're like, we gotta get rid of this guy. He's not a great option. Because initially, when Biden won, a lot of the Democrats, they were just happy to get rid of Trump. They were happy to get him out of the office. They were happy to turn on the news and not have to listen to, the old windbag just going at it, because he did. He talked a lot. But he's a show person. He was always a show person. Even back in the professional wrestling days. That's who he is. I mean, that's how he got a lot of attention. It was with that big puffed up chest and that voice of his and that crazy hair. The guy knows how to make money off of every situation. It doesn't matter. Even his mugshot, that was a great one there. I mean, that made him like $1 million the next day, just getting his mugshot. It doesn't matter what you do to the guy. He's not going to go to jail. I mean, he's going to make $1 million off everybody's opportunities that they put in front of him. He's going to figure it out. He's got enough attorneys and enough money to just do whatever. You can just up and leave if you wanted to. But yeah, I wish the economy was similar to what it was 4 years ago, because we were all sitting pretty good right before the pandemic happened. Everybody in the entire country that I know, personally, the people I know in my own circle, we were all doing great. We didn't have all these financial issues or worries about, gee, what's going to happen next? You know, now the insurance rates are going up. If you try to pay for insurance, even with a company, I mean, the price is crazy for a family right now. I think it's like $1,200 for a family insurance plan through your own company. And then for a single person, I think I was paying about $700 just for myself. That's per month. So that's more than a car payment for something that I'm not using every day. It's nice to have it, but what the hell am I paying $700 a month for if I don't go to the doctor that often? I better be in the doctor's office a lot, paying $700 a month. That's my line of thinking. It's just nuts. I remember back when the insurance, it was about $200 or $300 a month, and I remember thinking that was high. I mean, and now we're looking at a family plan of $1,200. That's what? Makes no damn sense why it's that high. You know, you should be living at the hospital if you're paying $1,200 a month. You should have a bed there, full-time bed. You shouldn't even, it's like a rent payment for your house. Or a mortgage payment. Oh man. I'm starting to see a few more RVs roaming around up here. I was good about not doing this when I was driving down the highway, because when I pull up to the traffic lights, I can roll down the window and just shoot the cloud out the window. But yeah, when I did that and the windows weren't even rolled down, so I just got friggin' vape flying around the cab. But I've been seeing a lot more. It's coming slowly. Usually we have a whole bunch of RVs and boats roaming around Alaska right now, so that also tells me the economy sucks. Because normally I see an entire sea of RVs running all the way through downtown, running up and down these main roads. I'm on the Seward Highway right now, and I only have one that's passing me. And I'm pretty sure this guy here has got Alaskan license plates. And that guy is from Alaska, so he lives here. Or the trailer he's got is from here, but that doesn't look like a rental. That looks like his own personal trailer. So he's getting ready to go south. Maybe do some fishing down there. Is there a holiday weekend coming up soon? Because it seems like as soon as I start getting into some work, a holiday pops up, and then that screws up the whole entire next week. I'm so tired of holidays. It's like we have to create a holiday. It's like every time we get a new person in office, they create another holiday. They create another federal day off. It's like before long, it's just going to be nothing but holidays throughout the year. You know, special days. Whatever happened there? It's like every year they come up with a new awareness day. You know, I got Suicide Awareness Day. We got, you know, Breast Cancer Awareness Day. We got just every kind of awareness day you can think of. Let's see, is the stream called Inflation? Why? Because I started out talking about inflation. I mean, it's really hard to just continue on that topic, but I go back and forth. I talk about inflation, I talk about weight loss, I talk about the carnivore diet, I talk about my struggles with employment right now, I talk a little bit about everything. Kind of go over a little bit of that. Thinking of that, thank you for the reminder. This stream has been going long. I've done about 3 rounds around Anchorage, hauling gravel. I think my biggest point when it comes to inflation is that I shouldn't have to be out here in a dump truck making a premium wage and struggling, like trying to figure out how I'm going to fix my vehicles. when I already own my vehicles, I own my home, and it's just I'm suffering. It's like, why am I suffering? And I'm making enough money. Groceries went up, bills went up, everything went through the roof. That drives me nuts. And then I'm driving around the city here, and I just see oodles and oodles of homeless people. And I mean, some of them are there because they got into drugs or whatever. Maybe they're an alcoholic. That's normal type homelessness. But a lot of them were forced there because of the cost of rent went through the roof. And now they can't afford to live a regular life. They can't find a job to get back out of that hole. And once you're homeless for a period of time, it is incredibly hard to get out of that, get the services you need to get back on top, to get cleaned up enough, that a job would actually hire you. Nuts. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut this stream real soon here. I'm gonna have to get out and use a little potty, use the boys' room. So yeah, if you guys are interested in weight loss, the carnivore diet, how I'm losing weight, how I'm maintaining my weight loss, I do videos about that. I do a lot of these random live streams just for fun, because sometimes if I got stuff to talk about, I'll just set it up, hit the button, and yeah, I'll just let it all out. I do a lot of my videos from my kitchen. I like to cook random things as well. We also just like to goof around at home sometimes. The other day I barbecued. I do have a couple other either streams or videos I'm getting ready to create over this weekend. I do a weekly weight loss update video regardless. It's either a video or it'll be one of these vertical live streams like you see here. But I talk a lot anyways. It doesn't matter if I'm driving or whatever I'm doing. I'm always just talking like this. So it's not like it's even a distraction. I just hit the button and talk. That's what truck drivers do, guys. I mean, you see these drivers driving around the road, and most of us, we're talking to ourselves, or we're coming up with just random whatever to talk about. We make up lyrics to songs and stuff like that. All right, I'm gonna botch out of this stream here. So you guys take care. I love y'all, and we'll catch you in the next one.